Hello, this is Wyland with the FPV podcast, where we talk about the FPV community and everything we do with our radio-controlled machines. Before we get into the show, I just want to very quickly touch upon our Patreon giveaway. This is a monthly giveaway that we're going to be doing for our Patreon supporters. So we're going to be giving away a lot of great products. So if you're interested in supporting the podcast and being entered into the giveaway, please go over to fpvpodcast.com. That's fpvpodcast.com. Thank you so much for supporting the FPV podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's FPV podcast. This week we got a young entrepreneur that's making his name in the FPV industry. He's kind of a local here, so we're definitely interested in talking to him. But before we say anything else, Elvin, what do you got this week?
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here, having a wonderful time, flying everywhere. Got the wings out, doing some long distance. That's plus 2 miles, guys, plus 2 miles. Anyway, that's long distance for a quad. And we've been just out testing wings. We got new orbits and Anubises and all kinds of stuff showing up to test out. And hope you guys come out and check me out, because soon we'll be doing vlogs on all of this stuff, man. What's up, Why? Let's talk to Cameron, man. Let's do this.
Sounds good, man. I'm looking forward to your vlogs. Okay, Cameron, please introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Cameron. I own Drone Drop. I'm 19, and I've been in the hobby for about 2 years now.
2 years?
And
that's pretty awesome. If many of you don't know, he's probably a local celebrity at this point, because he's one of the few people that has made it in terms of making a company. But before we actually talk about that, let's talk a little bit about Cameron's history. So, Cameron, how did you get into RC and FPV?
so before all this, I was into photography, and I was actually hired by a local club, Ross Area Flyers, I think, is a club name, to do like photography for one of their events on a Saturday. So I went up there, and I actually participated while I was taking the pictures. I participated in a raffle they had, and I won $10 to my local hobby shop. And I was interested in that. So I went up to the hobby shop, and I saw they had drones, and they actually let me, get inside the goggles and see what it was like to fly around. And I was instantly hooked. I just had to have it.
Just had to have. Well, it had to cost more than $10. So what'd you get in the first one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I first learned line of sight with like a plastic SpeedX quad. And then after that, I was like, all right, now I want to actually get into the cockpit. So then I got some goggles off Amazon for like $20. They're like e-ishing goggles or something like that. Something super crappy. But still, like, it was a blast.
Everybody starts off with something like that, right?
Right.
There's a lot of guys that start off like that. That's not a bad way.
It isn't. No, it was perfect, like, to gauge if you're interested or not. But yeah, I was hooked.
You were hooked. Okay, so how did you get, in contact or join the Cincinnati Quad Racers? Was that something that you just naturally found, or somebody invited you in?
Actually, the owner of the hobby shop where I was getting all of my parts from, which is Hobby Express. Shout out to Scott there, actually. He ended up hiring me for a little bit. Anyway, he told me to join the Facebook group, ask any questions I had in there, and post if anyone else wanted to fly.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool. And you just fit right in, because obviously you know the crew up there really well. We're buddies with Kirk and Andrew, and they kind of took you under their wing and kind of forced you
definitely
to learn to fly.
Yeah, they taught me so much. Andrew built my first quad, and then he repaired it, obviously. Yeah, it was really fun.
It was a lot of fun. So, let's talk a little bit about Kirk's craziness, because he's not on the podcast. He doesn't listen. So when Kirk when Kirk started seeing you fly, what did he do to actually force you to make you fly better?
Well, he was always messing with my quad's tune, first of all, and always messing with the rates, like tweaking things here, tweaking things there. He was like a pit crew. He was like a total pit crew, and he'd be like, "Hey, come over and fly my backyard. I got track set up."
The one-man pit crew.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he was always testing stuff. And yeah, we would fly. We would bang out like 20, 30 packs in a night over at his house. It was great. It helped so much.
Man, and the tracks that he put up on his track, he does not have a big yard, but he still manages to put 10 gates up.
We definitely had to get creative. I think he has like a chicken coop. We were putting barns on top of that, or we were putting gates on top of that. It was super fun.
Yeah, the famous chicken coop double back. That's what that's called.
And he did a lot of crazy stuff back there, but you seem to have progressed very quickly in your racing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Simulators helped a lot. I think I learned how to do like power loops on the simulator before I even knew how to fly acro in real life. And
See?
when
Simulators.
the first time I went flying with Andrew, I was actually like almost doing a power loop and doing like split S's and everything, and that was my first ever acro flight.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Back 2 years ago, did you make it pretty far into the multi GP series? I don't remember if memory serves.
Yeah, I did pretty well. My first year of racing, I ended up getting 11th at International Open.
11th at
Remember
International Open. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that. That's pretty cool. And that's that's when you were probably at the height.
That's how we had that conversation about Cameron. That's when he was doing so good. And Andrew and Kirk was talking about him and telling us to watch out because we were Team Core at the time, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Okay, so after, doing your racing stint, you decided to get a little creative. Like, what made you start thinking about actually even starting a company before you actually created Drone Drop? Was that something that you wanted to do? You wanted to be more than a pilot?
Yeah, definitely. Growing up, I've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit for sure. In middle school, I was like buying suckers that kids liked, and then I was flipping them or whatever. I'd have my mom drive me up to get like these caramel apple suckers for like 100 of them for like $5, and I'd flip them for like $1 a sucker at school, or like, make
Oh, that's my boy right there.
I'd make duct tape wallets and bracelets and stuff like that. So I always liked selling stuff. It was just something that, it makes me super happy.
Okay.
So as far as Drone Drop started, one night I was just playing video games. Then I saw an ad for Loot Crate, which is actually a video game like subscription box, and instantly like it just clicked. Like, okay, here's what it's got to be. So I ran downstairs. I told my mom, I was like, listen, I got this idea. What do you think? And I pitched the name. She loved the name. She's like, all right, do it. I was like, right, now I gotta actually do this.
Now you actually got to put a company together.
Yeah. How do I do that?
So your mom has actually been very supportive of you actually doing all of these things since the very beginning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome.
Played a big role in my success for sure.
Yeah, Elvin, it sounds like a mini you back 50 years ago.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Keep it up, man.
Yep.
Just keep. Hey, I'm gonna give you a little tip. Put lots of it away. Lots.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Of it away. Put lots of it away.
Mm-hmm.
Start young and start saving early. Yep, that is important. Yep. So once you had the great idea, you got your parents or your mom involved. What was the first step that you took in order to make this a reality?
Well, right away I got an LLC, and I actually didn't have any money at the time, so I got my mom to pay for the LLC up front just before I really started putting things into action. And then I got a domain, set up a little website, did some research. And actually another thing, I was always creating websites for fun when I was a kid. Like, my dad had this Dell desktop computer when I was probably like 13, 14, and I was always playing on that, figuring stuff out. So I kind of knew how to build a website. And but as far as like the subscription service, setting all that up, that was a whole nother like challenge. I set up a website, and how was I supposed to order all this product with no money? So I had to sell them beforehand, and that's what I did. I sold boxes before, got the capital, and then bought the product needed.
Okay. Now, before you could do that, you actually had to set up some, partnerships in order to get the product in. So talk to me about, the process of going through all of that and how you can convince people to actually give you, discounts before you even had customers.
Right. Well, right away, I was dealing with Brain 3D, and he actually made like 3D prints or whatever. And he helped me a lot. He gave me a good discount on my first order. And then so did Ready Made RC. They helped me out since I was local, and I kind of knew some of the people that worked there. So I hit them up. I pitched them the idea, and they were all for it. And I got a little price negotiation going, and my first box was off.
Yeah, that's actually something that's really difficult to do.
Yeah.
Like you swayed the right people though at the right time. That's
right.
That's what I can say about it is the fact that Ready Made has been, a focal point of this industry for like the last 10, 15 years, so you're drawing on their customers as
Hmm.
you know, team up with them. So,
Right.
that's something, it's a great thing, great thoughts, man. Great
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the box itself. When you came up with a concept, obviously a subscription box, the idea is not new, but to incorporate it into the FPV industry is really new. So, like,
Right.
how did you, come up with what to put in it, the pricing? Was that all just trial and error, or did you kind of have an idea of what you wanted right from the beginning?
Well, being a pilot, it was pretty easy to know what I personally would expect from a box like this. So I just kind of went off that. And going to races and everything, I saw what people were using. I saw people were breaking, what they needed more of. So it came pretty natural to, put those items in the box.
Okay, so you were
Hmm.
looking for specific things that people were breaking during events, and then you were
Right.
putting those in and kind of pitching it to them, saying that, this is a box that would help you guys out.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
Right.
It's a box for pilots that crash is how I market it, which is everyone.
that's
I
everyone.
do that a
Pilots that
lot.
crash,
Yeah.
that's everyone.
Right.
I like that. Okay, so you got your website built, you got your domain. When you started advertising for that box, I'm assuming because it kind of started locally and then you kind of worked
Hmm.
your way out. Was that the strategy that you had going in?
Yeah, well, actually, I started with a small amount of boxes, and I thought right away most of the people locally were going to be all over it. But it was actually only two people, which were Kirk and Andrew. So shout out to them for believing.
Your
And
mentors.
some of the other people I are flying with, like I pitched them the idea, and they were like, "I wouldn't buy that." I was like, "Dang, okay, a little discouraged, but not completely discouraged." So I started sending it to YouTubers to review. Matt Johnson helped me out a ton with that. He did a review on the video. People love that. And yeah, I started reaching out through videos, and then I mean, it just came natural to me how to expand it.
Okay, that's actually a really good idea
Hey,
for anybody who wants to advertise. Is like
Hmm.
reach out to some YouTubers or some big Facebookers, and just ask them to go review it. They probably want to put out videos anyway, so it's kind of
Right,
natural.
exactly.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's pretty cool. So, did you find them to be receptive to the idea of just you sending them a box and letting them open it up?
Yeah, they were all for it,
Okay,
and the viewers loved it too.
yeah, I think everybody loves unboxings. I don't think anybody
Hmm.
dislikes that.
yeah,
Right.
I don't know. You like them? We see all the videos you do. Why?
Yeah, I know. I do tons of videos. That's a different story. This is a challenge for Cameron. Okay, Cameron, do
Oh boy.
you remember what you put into the first drop box?
Yes, it was two ready-made RC wire like declutterers, I guess. They weren't battery straps, but you could wrap them around like say computer cables. It
Uh
was stickers. We had an antenna. We had a 3D print from Brain FPV, and we had a drawstring backpack. That was our like I'd say prototype box to see how people would respond. Now I'd say our first
huh.
like real box that had real value and really kicked everything off was when Trappy actually stepped in and said, "Hey, I got a bunch of ESCs. Here's a great deal on them." And we actually had eight TBS bulletproof ESCs in the April drop, and then TBS stickers and other things like that.
Now, was that how many boxes were you in before that happened?
Um, I'd say that was the second box.
Oh, that was the second box. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so like yeah, Trappy, right? He's always
Hmm.
interested in helping out somebody that's willing to grow. So he gave you a great deal. Yeah, those ESCs were actually still very popular. I'm kind of surprised he
Yeah, I
needed.
mean, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So after that, after that kickoff of the Dropbox, like, did you started reaching out to other companies and they're starting to get more receptive to putting stuff into your box?
Yeah, I would actually say there was probably like a 3 month period where things were rough. Companies weren't responding like I thought they were. The deals I was getting weren't as mind blowing. So I really had to hustle. I really had to get deeper into I'd say like China, right? I was really going for companies that were just wholesalers, right? They weren't the manufacturers. So once I figured out how to tap into the manufacturers, then things got I'd say they got a lot easier. And the
Okay.
value got higher in the boxes as well.
Okay, so basically, you really had to work directly with the people making stuff in order to really make your
Yeah,
company grow.
right.
Okay, that's actually a hard road. So that must have been a really trying time. You must have not gotten a lot of sleep.
No, I
Lots,
still don't.
lots of time up in China. I was calling people, right?
Yep. My schedule
Yeah.
was so out of whack. And I was in school too, and I
Oh
had a
my God.
job. So I was really getting after it. But I loved it. It made me so happy.
So talk to me
That's how I
about
did it with helicopters.
Yeah.
talk to me about how much time you spend in order to get this off the ground per day. Is it like a couple hours, or were you like constantly thinking about it?
It's definitely, I'd say it's definitely a trade-off because back when we were smaller, there weren't as much support emails, but product sourcing was a lot more difficult. Now
Mm.
things are kind of the opposite. Product sourcing has come easier, but customer support and then as well as our online store has picked up a lot. So I'd say it's about the same.
It's about the same. Okay, so
Yeah.
which means a lot of time for anybody who hasn't ever started a company. You never
Right.
stop working, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's quite tough.
Right. It's a never ending low pay job.
Oh, that's mean, Elvin. That's very mean.
It is. I mean, it's low paying hourly. It's the accumulation over time that's the benefit.
Okay,
It's a lot of work for sure.
it is. So
Yeah.
talk to me about your subscription numbers.
Total.
I'm not looking for direct numbers, but like, did you see a nice steady trend of growth, or were it like kind of spurts of growth that you really needed in order to, be where you're at right now?
So since it was my first company, it was my first major endeavor. When I was having product sourcing issues, I capped it. I said, okay, we're not going to grow anymore until we can figure it out because it just would be pointless, right? So once I got
Right.
manufacturers nailed down, I got, boxes planned out for months. That's when I opened it back up. And since then, I mean, it's been crazy how much we've grown.
Would you say that your growth is more like sporadic growth, like every couple of weeks you get like a boost, or is it just a steady flow?
It is a steady flow for sure.
That's actually kind
Yeah.
of interesting because it means that people are kind of learning about you naturally and just kind of subscribing instead of like somebody really big unbox something and then like all their subscribers like jumped
Right.
on.
Right. Well, I
Yeah. That's
I, I send out certain boxes for YouTuber influencers to unbox like during a time of the month, so there isn't really a dead period.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
ah,
that makes a lot of sense. There we
he's
go.
doing his own marketing.
Yeah.
In terms of what you're putting in boxes now as when you started before, have you said you're able to plan out the boxes months ahead of time. So does this
hmm
mean that you kind of have everything already arranged in terms of payments and everything? So you're just basically at this point managing the system?
Yeah, definitely.
Should.
I don't know if you want to get into the partnership or into the details about the partnership with TBS, but that does play a factor in all this as because I have been working with their sourcing manager. So we have been able to plan out the boxes pretty steadily. And we also have the growth predicted and everything. So we have a gauge of how much of everything we'll need.
Okay. Okay. So you
Good,
actually
good,
are
good,
planning
good,
that
good.
in advance as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the TBS stuff. So, just catching up to modern times, obviously, one of the big announcements that you made was that the shipping was going to change, and that was
Yeah.
because of the partnership with TBS. Go ahead and explain
Mhm.
that to us.
So before the partnership with TBS, we had, high custom fees and high shipping rates for international boxes, and we saw a huge demand for people overseas wanting the box because that's something our competitors do not offer, and that's something I've always wanted to offer. One of my first boxes I sent to someone in Australia to unbox, and the response was crazy, but the shipping was also crazy. So we managed to get our shipping costs from $35 when we first started, and then I'd say 6 months into it, we got down to 24, and then most recently, we got it down to $14 for international shipping.
That's actually
That's
really
not bad.
difficult. Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
good, and that's directly attributed
That's
to
volume.
Trappy's network.
yeah. Actually, TBS is packing international boxes in their facility in Hong Kong.
Okay, so
Nice.
basically they're covering Europe and kind of Australia for you.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, does that mean you're still doing the United States?
yeah. That's all in house.
Okay, so Wow. Hey, look, you've grown to a multinational company. You know, it's like CEO, multinational company. You got that checked out.
Right.
Excuse me, sir. Pardon me. Can I get you some Grey Poupon?
I remember, like you used to always like take pictures of how many boxes you were sending out a month. It started off as like a fourth of a truck or van, and then it was like a basement. So where's it up to now? Is it like, okay,
We're in the garage. We take up the whole garage.
we're in the garage.
Damn.
Yeah.
So are you just
That's good money right there, baby.
Are you still just running through this all through your house? You're just getting like inventory shipments right to your house?
Yeah,
moving. They're gonna be moving next month. They moving to a bigger house.
A bigger house.
I'm gonna come and visit Cameron. Next time I come down there, dude, I'm coming to hang out. And I'm just gonna step over boxes. That's all I want to do. Is step over the boxes. Look, y'all. Look. This boy doing work in here, y'all.
We're just gonna be in there, and we're gonna help him pack the boxes. That's all we're gonna be doing, Oven.
Hey, it gets sweaty.
I bet.
Especially the summer now.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. Am I hearing that you're still packing all the boxes? I think that's what I just heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
No employees, huh? He's like, I still want to do it myself.
It's me, my friend, and my 2 cousins.
Oh, okay. This is a family business.
All you got?
Yeah.
That's all you got? Don't you have other family?
I do, but hey, they're enthusiastic about it.
They're enthusiastic about it, but they're not helping. All right. That sounds pretty cool. Hey, family businesses are cool. You know, you can be the next Emacs or something like that. That would be kind of neat. Okay. In terms of being, growing in scale, what like problems did you find as you went from having, just a few boxes to like, how the heck am I going to get all these to the post office? Like, what were the big hurdles?
Oh man. Well, the big hurdles, first of all, is USPS will not pick up from my house. So it is, sometimes it's my Honda and my friend's Honda, and then, all this full of boxes, trips and trips, which is, it's nice though, because the post office where I live is, I could see it right now, it's really close to where I live, and they love, the company, they love seeing it grow and everything. So that's nice to have a post office that's supportive of it too. But as far as, the growth, first when we were in the basement, it was taking all these boxes up the steps. It was taking all the product, this very heavy product, down into the basement on these like creaky wooden steps. So it was very sketch to do that. So that's one of the main reasons that I moved into the garage, is because the DHL truck, the truck guy he'll just pull up into my garage and drop everything off into it.
So logistically speaking, are you not using USPS anymore? Are you using like DHL or something like that?
No, I'm using USPS. It is just, the back of a truck bed filled up a few times and then ran up to the post office.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what? Whatever works, right?
Yeah, it actually helps with keeping shipping on time, because I don't have to, it's on me. It's not on USPS's times. It's, if I'm going to take them up at 8 in the morning, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So have you found that, as you continue to grow, you realize that you're eventually going to have to move out of your house? Is there any plans on what you're going to be doing for that?
Yeah, I actually have a meeting with, a few companies locally that outsource the fulfillment, because, I was looking at purchasing a space to do all this. But what really makes sense is to partner with a company locally that can just pack the boxes and ship them for me.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's what you got to do to grow, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of the future for this particular company, like, what is your vision for Dropbox, and what are you hoping to achieve with this company?
Well, I really wanted to turn it into a brand, a drone drop brand, which will have, the box, and then, a small product line underneath that'll be accessible for beginner pilots, quality product with, a budget price. But that will these products will not be included in the box. It'll be its own product line. Okay,
so you're looking at kind of becoming your own online store at that point.
I wouldn't say an online retailer, but if you need like motors, batteries, maybe a frame, stuff like that, we'll have it.
Okay. So is one of your goals to have like different types of drone drop boxes in the future, or is it going to
Yeah.
only be remain one
We're actually working on a second one right now, which I can't say much about, but it will be in the $20 range for smaller quads.
for smaller quads? Oh,
Yep,
sub 3 inch or 3 inch quads?
or smaller,
What? Or smaller?
or smaller.
And tiny
Yep,
whoops?
something like that is what we're thinking of.
Okay, okay. I won't bug you too much. Let's talk a little bit about your competitors because obviously you do have a few subscription competitors, but you are kind
hmm
of like priced differently and you kind of do different things. Can you talk about what kind of differentiates you from your competitors?
Yeah, definitely. So our competitor right now is, as you probably know, partnered with Rotorite and X-Hover.
Right.
They have, they have a box that can equal our price of $39.99, or you can do like, just a basic box and then add a boost. So that's kind of their concept.
Okay. And like, do you see them doing similar things, or in terms of product or marketing, or is it like they're going after a different market segment?
It started off similar products, but now I'd say I have a greater reach deeper into upcoming companies in China that I'm able to source product from.
Okay, so you're kind of like your main business really when it comes to your drone drop box is you're looking forward to see what new products people would want, and you got to jump
Right.
ahead of that and make sure that you have that in your box so that you can stay competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly checking Facebook for companies announcing new product, and then I'll reach out to them and be like, "Hey, are you guys interested in like doing something with this?" But yeah, as far as new products go, we were actually able to release a new product with TBS, their MMCX Unify. We rolled out in a box, and then their Oblivion frame. We actually just released that one.
The Oblivion frame in a box? Really? So you actually had the Oblivion as a box, or what? Now that does. Oh,
It
just a
wasn't a
frame.
fully built. Yeah, just the polycarbonate frame.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
Definitely different things for different people, right?
yeah, and it works great with our customers. Like my customers, they love wrecking things, so it's a hard frame to break.
They love wrecking things. Okay, so let's jump over to the customer service side. Obviously, people are
hmm
subscribing to you and they're wanting these boxes. What kind of feedback have you been getting like throughout the whole history of Drone Drop? Has it been like very supportive? People been suggesting things. Like, how has that evolved?
Yeah, I mean, it has been very, very supportive the whole way through. It's evolved. It's evolved quite a bit, actually. Sometimes you get people that just aren't happy with the box, and then they want to go on Facebook. Or I'd say this is good with any product. I'm sure we all see it. Someone just blowing up Facebook groups with a negative review. And it was cool to see, people come to my assistance and like point out things that they're saying that are just like totally whack.
Yeah, that's got to be difficult, because
Yeah.
like I would suspect, like us here doing a weekly podcast, like not all of them are going to be A+, right? There's going to be some weeks where
Right.
you're like, man, that box is a little bit subpar. I mean, do you get
hmm
those type of months as well?
We tried not to, but some months I'd say are definitely better than others, without a doubt.
Yeah, and it's hard to like. Have you actually, planned out the product boxes, and then just for whatever reason the vendors didn't come through, and you kind of have to scramble to adjust it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Actually, in the beginning months, I actually had a vendor come through or fall through, and then I actually called Ready Made and was like, hey, like I need some product by like tomorrow. Like they were supposed to deliver it yesterday, right? So then I drove up to Columbus and I picked up, a couple $1,000s worth of product and drove back and packed the boxes.
man, yep, those are the stories, the dark days that nobody really
Right.
talks about, but it happens,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, it happens for sure.
Yeah, and it's like was that like was just on them or miscommunication or
Yeah, it was on them completely. I
yeah.
won't say who, but
Dude, I remember you posting that.
oh yeah, going up to Ready
That
Made.
you went to Ready Made.
Yep.
You're actually in a
That
great
was that
region
was
because
Oh, I
Ready
know.
yeah.
Made's
There were a
here.
lot of yeah.
Yeah, because like 300 or 400 miles in either direction, you have two major players.
Yeah,
What?
Ohio's great for drone racing.
Yeah, you got
Right.
Ready Made. What's the other one, Elvin?
Horizon.
Horizon. Oh, okay. But they make expensive stuff, Elvin. Jeez.
Yeah, that's true, but they are now okay. So, a real quick little thing. See, we done lost a couple of major players in the hobby. We lost Hobby Lobby. We lost. I forgot the other name of the company. That's why we lost them. But we done lost those companies, and those companies fed hobby shops parts, right? They like the balsa wood for those guys that like to make planes from scratch and do all that stuff. Well, when those companies fell out of place, nobody picked that up. And right now, Horizon has picked that up as redistributing all the balsa and all the little knickknacks for planes and cars and all the little stuff that we need to, repair, that help fix or make run a little bit better on all our boats and cars and trucks and whatever, and airplanes. Horizon is doing that right now.
Oh,
If
okay.
Horizon stops doing that,
Then the hobby's in trouble.
right.
I
Just
did not
making
know that.
point.
I'm glad that they're actually picking that up, which actually, that's a good point from Elvin. It's like, Cameron, since you actually deal with the manufacturers directly and you actually see these things, have you noticed, in 2000, like going from 2017 into 2018, like the manufacturers are starting to change, people are going out of business, and, like the landscape of getting parts is different?
Yeah, definitely. There are a few Chinese companies that have gone out of business or are close to that. We actually helped out. With some of the products they're just sitting on that they couldn't sell. So yeah, I've definitely seen stuff like that.
Okay, and are there like new companies taking their place, or is it just like we're starting to see where like there's going to be a few dominant companies that will be manufacturing and distributing all of these other things, and then like all the small stuff is just they just disappear?
Yeah, I think there will be a few major players for sure.
Okay, and like have you seen like new players come in with innovative stuff? I mean that's the big thing.
Not necessarily. Most of the things that I've seen that are innovative are from companies that are already pretty well established, like, Lumineer and their Popo system, stuff like that.
Okay, so like a lot of it is then
And
is
Furious and the rest of them, right?
Right.
okay. So a lot of it is from established companies just making new lines of products.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, a couple of last questions, and then we can start wrapping this up. But like your drone drops, how do you design your drone drops? I mean, do you just go in like what's the model for making a box?
So every month, we have a wild card, which is, I'd say, the main item in the box, and then, that is what really brings the value in. And then we also have, accessories. So you could get like a tool kit, you could get, a nylon screw kit. Um, the list goes on. And then we also have like stable supplies, which are things we include every month. And those are propellers, battery straps, coupons, stickers, and things along those lines. So I mean, I mean, it's not a total mystery box. Like you have an idea of what you're going to get.
To get
And we also try and like build a quad through the period that you're subscribed for. So we just recently included an Oblivion frame. Before that, it was a VTX. So we're actually working on building out an Oblivion, a budget Oblivion, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay, that's kind of neat actually. So if you
Yeah,
subscribe long enough, you'll end up
yeah,
having an Oblivion.
right.
Oh,
Or not
yeah,
the exact Oblivion, but something that you can
similar.
fly that is an Oblivion frame
something
for sure.
similar.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, there you go, Elvin. You wanted an Oblivion, right? Yeah, just subscribe to Drone Drop.
I what would you say? Happy what birthday? What did you say? What did you say?
Pay for
What
half.
happy
I'll pay for
birthday?
half.
What
Happy birthday, Elvin.
you
I'll
gonna
be
pay
getting
for
you something in the
half?
mail. I'll get you something in the mail, Cameron. You'll be hearing from me.
I got him.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
everybody, y'all heard that, right?
Nope, you didn't hear anything. I edit the podcast, Elvin, so I'll just edit that part out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
That'll be cut out.
I'm just kidding.
That's normal.
No, that's just me. All right. I think one of the most interesting things that you did for your drone drop when I was, just following your feed is that you had some custom made things for you, like a custom colored propeller. Are you still pursuing stuff like that?
Yeah, yes and no. I want to do like stable supplies that are Drone Drop branded, but at the same time, I don't want the box to be like a complete Drone Drop brand because the point of the box is to include other brands as well and give them exposure, give them sales, drive traffic to them and new products that they want to release. So, Drone Drop itself, like the box is, Drone Drop, but inside we want to include, brands.
Okay, that sounds cool. I mean, that's a really good idea because you're helping your manufacturers and your distributors out by doing that.
Real quick, it's also a good like opportunity. We were talking about new companies coming in, and it is definitely getting harder to, make an FPV drone related company right now. So I really want the box to be an outlet for companies that, are trying to get their feet wet or trying to, expand and reach a big customer base really.
Okay, yeah, I mean, definitely. Right. You can definitely, like, at least at the beginning, put in a large order from them and then get people familiar with their products. I mean, that's a good sales pitch. Okay, cool. Now, let me ask you some demographic questions. Going into 2018, have you noticed, I don't know, like, have you noticed, like, a steady supply of new people coming into the industry, or can you actually do that metric, or is it just, like, you just know the subscriber base?
All I know is the subscriber base is definitely going up. Now, TBS has said that it is kind of stale right now as far as new people coming in and people leaving. It's kind of, a steady line, to say. But as far as the box growth has gone, I haven't noticed any of that.
Okay. Well, that's good then.
Yeah.
Now, have you noticed, like, is there, like, a difference between U.S. growth and international growth, or how do you measure that metric?
Well, international has grown, it has quadrupled since we have announced the lower shipping rates. So I can't say whether that's, attributed to new pilots or, just people always wanting to get in on the box, but haven't been able to afford it until now.
I totally understand that. Okay, cool. For anybody who doesn't know, can you go ahead and kind of just give us a summary of what you like if you go to the website, what's the cost? How do you ship? And you already covered what's in there, but you might as well say it one more time.
Right. So if you go to the website, all you gotta do is hit the buy now button, and then you'll see the box. And on the box page, you'll have like a breakdown of what could be in the box. And then you can also, I recently added this, there's a form of what you'd like to see in the box. So we do listen to what customers want in the box. And we actually have literally put items like that in the box that we've seen people recommend and people want. The box starts at $9.99, and then there is a $10 shipping charge domestically or a $14 shipping charge internationally.
That's not that bad.
Cameron.
$4 increase.
Right.
Cameron.
What's up?
I want. Can you get old props?
Old props?
Yeah, like
what kind of props? Like bi-blades? Like carbon bi-blades?
Send everybody 5x3 gym fam.
Why would you do that?
One set. Because people need to know where we came from. You know what I mean? Like you got, like the struggle.
Here's the struggle box. That's it.
Real, right? That's
Cameron,
for real.
that's awesome.
Struggle box.
The struggle box. You're gonna have to send out that as a bonus. The struggle box.
Right. Yeah. You get some gym fam.
I'll just send a box full of those props to you, Alvin.
No, not to me. No, to everybody. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying everybody, so everybody gets to know what it's like. I mean,
he's trying to put you out of business.
That's real.
No. I don't think they get to know. Making them, making it sound like they get to know sounds like it's a pleasure for them, but it sounds like forcing them to know what you went through.
Forcing them. Just send them ESCs that desync. It's like, okay, it just randomly falls out of the sky. I don't know why. Oh,
no,
man.
Don't do that. We wouldn't wish that on our worst enemy. That crap. Remember that? Oh boy.
Yeah,
anyway.
It was bad. Well, hey, Cameron, was good talking to you about this, but I would have to ask though, like we did already ask you what the future of this company is, and you kind of have it well laid out. Is there any plans for you to like kind of jump outside the FPV industry and start doing something drone drop related for other RC related companies or industry? I don't know, communities. That's it. That's the right word.
I'd say I'm a little too deep in the drone industry right now. I have thought about like, an RC car box or something like that, but I just don't know enough about that industry to really get into it.
Yeah.
Really, I think you need to go to the local track. I'm gonna tell you, Cameron, go to the local track. Look for somebody similar to you. That's what you'll find, and get the information from him, and you can help him. You can start a partnership. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting things. So, okay, last subject.
Guide a brother, right? Guide a brother. Right?
Guide a brother. Now, it seems like his growth rate's good enough to where he's got his hands full just with the FPV industry. So, last few questions. Obviously, you're still in the racing going into 2018, and you changed your FPV name. So, tell us about that, because it's actually quite amusing.
Well, the funny story is, I didn't fly all winter, and I came out, pretty pale, pretty ghostish. So my name went from Relay to Ghostish. Sorry.
See,
Ghost-ish,
look, I'm not the only one that forgets.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? The local lap timer at my FPV, FPV chapter, it pronounces my name as Goat Shit.
All right, it's time to change your name. That's not going to work.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to figure something out with that.
You're going to have to spell it a little differently.
It makes it really hard to put down fast lap times when it's always calling that out.
Oh, shit.
So what's your plans for drone flying this year? Are you still trying to get into the multi-GP qualifier, or are you just flying for fun nowadays?
No, I'm definitely trying to do well this season. I put on some time in the sim, and when I can fly, I fly. My quads feel the same, so I can, not fly for a week and then come back, and it's just like it was when I first left it.
Okay, cool. So I think Cincinnati's qualifier is coming up pretty soon, so you're definitely going to be there for that. And also,
yeah, we'll actually have 2 qualifiers locally, and then all around us there are qualifiers.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're going to be making your rounds pretty soon, right?
Yep, and I'm going to International Open as well.
Oh, cool.
In Muncie this season.
Okay, so you bringing your
why
a drone drop box tent?
I actually have an idea to get like a helmet made that'll fully enclose my head with a drone drop box.
Oh, is that what that post is about? Is that what?
Okay. Hey, do you have a 3D printer?
Not like that, okay. I'm not sure if I can enclose your head. That's gonna require like an industrial 3D printer for that.
I know. If you know anyone.
That's a 12-inch table. You can do that in 12 inches.
I don't know, man.
Helmet. On a 12-inch table, not a 6-inch.
Yeah, 12-inch tape. Nope, I can't help you there, Cameron. But I'm sure somebody in the 3D printing FPV community.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hook him up, y'all. Hook him up. He needs a helmet printed. Somebody with a 12-inch or plus table. Come on.
That's gonna be hot as heck to wear around all day.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, it might be worth it.
Gotta put some fans in it.
Yeah, there we go. You can put some. Hey, you know what? You should modify an old pair of goggles so you actually can fly with it from with the goggles built in. You can make like a Darth Vader helmet. There we go.
Yeah, I could just plug in from Scully's ground station into the side of my head.
Exactly.
I'm ready to fly.
Yeah, and then you can just drop off the box when you're done.
Yeah, perfect.
That would actually be okay. That's your side project from here until I/O.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research today trying to make a mascot helmet.
A mascot? Yeah. Actually, Drone Drop doesn't have a mascot, does it?
Nope.
So you're just gonna make a person with a box on his head?
Yeah,
it'll be wide.
No,
make Cameron. Wide a mascot.
No, Cameron. It's Cameron. Stick figure. Ghostish.
Ghostish.
Ghostish. There we go. All right, Cameron. Really appreciate the time talking to you. It's a lot of fun talking to somebody that's, flying and also making a business of it, because we all know it's really hard. And we appreciate all of the hard work, because a lot of people love your drone drop boxes, and we wish you continued growth. So for anybody who wants to reach out, contact you, where can they reach out to you at?
Yeah, just hit me up on Facebook, Kieran Fiorini, or on email, km@droneboxdrop.com.
Nobody's going to remember your name. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I can't even spell your name.
No one can spell my last name.
Nobody can. I was like,
hey, Cameron. Cameron, before we go, hey, thanks for the drone drop, man. That's cool.
You're welcome. Wise got you covered on that.
Yes. Happy birthday, Elvin. We wish you good health on your 70th birthday.
I'm only 50.
You're only 50. Hey, I saw you on Facebook, man. You got quite a few interesting prizes or gifts along the way. So congratulations on that.
Okay, so I got that pinata from my buddy. He gave that to me for my birthday, and 2 days ago I was at Hobby King, and the lady behind the counter gave me 2 Tyrannus 9XD pluses.
Dang.
I can tell you, I've been really trying to like keep my mouth closed about radios, and we've been looking at different radios, and I'm trying to and it's I can't resist any longer.
You can't resist.
I just got a new one for this season, and I put a Crossfire in the back of it, and I'm loving it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna be running the R9 system, because I plan on using it for medium to long range. I'm still gonna use my Dragon Link for long range, and that's plus 10 miles. But anything under that, R9 is definitely going to give me all I need and then some.
Perfect.
Cool.
And the penetration to fly behind trees.
That's all you want. You just want to go out 5 miles. That's what you really want from your radio.
That's all you need, 5 miles. If you can go 5 miles, you can get lost real quick.
All right, Cameron. We appreciate the time, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with you on I.O. I think me and Elvin are both planning to be there. And
awesome.
Yeah.
So
if you see a guy walking around with the box on his head, that's who it is.
Yep.
I'll make sure I sign it.
Oh, there we go. And we'll definitely get a chance to talk to you then.
Great.
Cool.
Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
All right.
It was fun.
Yeah, have a good one,
Thanks
man.
for coming on.